Hey, my name's Ian Jennings, and today I'm going to show you how you can create a video tutorial using Paircast. Paircast combines screen recording and code changes into video documentation that work together. On the right side, we have markdown formatted transcripts of everything I said and the code I wrote while I recorded this video. If I click on one of these timestamps, I'll be brought to the exact moment where I wrote that code. You can modify this markdown directly on the Paircast site. So if I wanted to add a heading here, maybe something like how to use the SDK, I would just save that. And there we go, it persists. On the bottom here, we have a timeline of everything that happened during recording. We can click and highlight to find out what happened in the transcript during that time. If we hover, we can see the different aspects of the recording. Here we can see we worked with an EJS file. And here we added one line and deleted 2 lines from a JavaScript file. If we wanted to maybe highlight the portions of the cast where we worked with the styles, the less files, we can see the less files here. And in the transcript, we'll see records of those less changes. Now you might have noticed on the left that we've highlighted this clip and saved it so anybody can come back later and see where the less modifications happened. We can step through the tutorial part by part by clicking on the highlights. When we're all done, we can copy and paste this and create a README, a gist, or even post at sites like dev.to, Code Project, or any other website that supports Markdown. So see here, we have the beginning of a tutorial. This is the Paircast app. When you open it, you'll be asked to log in, or you can create an anonymous recording. We're logged in, and we've selected our demo project. If we navigate to the Paircast dashboard, we can see all of our recordings here. Let's get started. So I'll select my screen. I've only got one monitor today, so we'll select our microphone, and this is the same microphone I'm recording this tutorial with. We can see a preview of it to make sure that we're getting the right audio. Next, the camera. There I am. And finally, code. This is the directory that Paircast will watch for changes. So we'll select Paircast sales on the desktop. That's this folder right here. And Paircast will watch this folder for changes and generate the code diffs as things happen. We also need to supply a git ignore because this is an empty directory. All right, we're ready to go. So let's click Start Recording. Paircast has started watching that directory for changes. We can see our audio preview, desktop, webcam, and notice that we're now watching that directory. If I open that directory, we can see Paircast has made a README, a Git repository, and made a git ignore. If I make a new file, let's make just a simple text document and call it hello, Paircast notices and starts tracking. Let's say we modify this file. We'll just say hello world, like that. We can see Paircast has recognized those file changes, +3. If we delete, -3. So we'll just delete this file altogether. And I'll dive in to making that example sales.js cast that we just saw. So what I'm going to do is open Commander. And I'll simply navigate to my desktop, and I will open that directory. And within here, I'll use a sales global utility, sales, to generate a new project. So I think it's just sales new my app. Let's try that. So we'll work through the prompts. We're going to use a complete project. And we'll see that Paircast has actually detected that new directory as it's being created. Sales has initialized that directory and created a new app. Paircast, again, works with Git, and it's generated a new branch. This branch is actually the future location of this recording. That means later on, when we push this to GitHub, we'll be able to link that Git branch to the Paircast recording. We can even see the individual commits and go to their time offsets once we start committing, but I'll show you that later. Okay, for now, let's do sales lift. So I'll go into my app and I'll run sales lift. Great. So sales is lifting. And we have our new sales app. So I'm going to pause that and we'll do sales generate new page. So now let's generate a new page in sales. Sales generate page, and we'll just call this Hello World. Sales has made some new files here. Let's open up VS Code and we'll load that folder up. There we are. Okay, so here we are in our new app. And we have our new file that sales generated. Now, for the simplicity of this demo, we won't be completing that whole tutorial, but let's just make some quick modifications. So, when we've created a new route in sales, we need to actually bind that route to the routes file. So what I'll do is open up the routes file. And I'm going to just follow those instructions that sales told us about. We need to add this route. Great. So we'll just add that route to the top of the page here. Save it. Okay, now that we've bound the route, we also need to add a policy. So let's go to a policy, and we'll just say view hello world true. We relift the app. We go to hello world, and there's our page. Just for fun, let's edit the styles. So there's another step we need to do. We need to actually link the styles from the importer file. So there's importers.less, and we just need to make sure that we're going to include styles pages hello world. There's already some examples here, so I'm pretty sure we can just type import pages hello world.less, and there we go. Now, it's important to note that as I'm typing that, we're not getting every change. Paircast actually only watches for file saves. Now, let's open up that hello world less file. Okay, and let's just make the background gray. If I refresh the page here, the background is now gray. And I think we'll end the tutorial here. So I'll click finish recording. Paircast will quickly process and upload the video. And we're given the link. Now this link is public and can be shared with anybody. We also have this private edit link. For now, let's just click the view. And here we are. We can see the whole timeline of everything we edited along the bottom. Our cast was about 7 minutes long. And you can see the different file types we work with. First, that text file, then the JSON file, then the EJS, JS, and finally less. If we want to see exactly what we changed, we can simply click, drag, and highlight that portion of the timeline. Then, the transcript of everything that was changed during that time will show up on the right side. This is actually markdown. So if we click edit, we can see the markdown source. All of the code timestamps. So we can see here we added that text file and then we removed it. And imagine we didn't want to include that in this cast. We probably don't. We can simply delete it. There we go. Now imagine we'd like to show how to create a new route in sales. Well, we can find that point where we edited the route. There we go, policies. Click, drag, and highlight. So here we have that file change we made, and we can see my transcript. From here, we can click edit, maybe give this a title like create a route, clean up some of the text, and then we can save the highlight. So there we go. Now we have a permanent link, and if we navigate away from this, we can actually click on this again to be brought right back to that section. we can share this with other people and point them directly to the point in the cast where we completed something of interest. They can then navigate around and see what happened before and after that point. If we'd like to rename this, we can simply click Edit and call this Create a Route. While we're in the edit there, we might make a title like Set Up or How to Set Up Sales.js, and maybe a description like, this is me setting up sales on Windows. Now, if we want to do this again, let's imagine we're describing how to set up styles in sales. We would highlight, maybe edit, save, create highlight, and then rename it. And there we go. Now, what about GitHub? Well, remember when I mentioned that Paircast works with Git? Let's open that up. And we can see that we're in a Paircast branch in a Git repository. Let's publish that repository to GitHub. Paircast sales demo app. Okay. We will keep it public and we'll publish it under Paircast. Publish repo. So we've published the Paircast branch to GitHub. And you can see a preview of the video as well as a call to action to watch the video in this README here. If you look at the commit messages, we can actually see links to the video with timestamps. If we click on that, BE5F, we'll see that we're brought to the point where that commit was made. There's two-way linking between these Git diffs and the Git commits. If we explore the code, and let's say we look at that less file, if we hit blame, we can actually see the point at which every line of code was modified. See how there's a link right here to the Paircast recording? Well, if I click here, we'll be brought to the exact point where that line of code was created. If you'd like to check out the repository at this particular point in time, the commit hash is available here. And we can simply go into Commander and check out that hash. And here we are. Now we're here 6 minutes and 50 seconds in where we added the less file. Paircast and Paircast Git integration will allow you to add additional context to the video tutorials you're already creating. That's it for Paircast. Please check out the website for more, and don't forget you can download the app for free right now. Thank you.